Hey, can you guys see the slideshow? Okay. I was having trouble on my other computer, so I switched over. Okay. I'll leave that up then.
Hey, Rory.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Can you see the slideshow okay?
Yeah, last time I started, I was on mute, so, you know.
Oh, okay. You're good.
All
I'm going to mute
right.
myself, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Do you want me on mute right now?
Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick introduction. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. Nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Oh gosh, thanks for having me. This is great. This is weird, but great.
All right, I think, let's see, we got some people slowly trickling in. We had bingo before this, so hopefully people are moving from one to the other.
Oh, fun. How'd you do that?
We had a group come in and set it up, and so they run the show. It was really fun. I hadn't done it before, but it was really neat to see. So we had
But you did it,
prizes and trivia.
but you did it virtually?
All through Zoom.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah. All right, the bingo folks are here. Casey Crew. Thank you, Chelsea. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off, just because, it's everyone's got other things going on, but I do want to appreciate all of you coming out. I know we don't have requirements anymore, but thank you for coming to our, I guess, second virtual general membership meeting after the placement fair. Just excited to have you here tonight. As we've done throughout the year, we're going to be showcasing a couple different aspects of what the league does. And so we have Jessica O'Donnell from Lazarus here to talk about one of our longstanding community partners. And then also Erin Folk is here, who's a board member, but also a very generous sponsor, and talk about how, life has changed and affecting them during COVID. And then, as I know, we've had a lot of communications go out, but I wanted to give the membership a chance to talk to the board. And I felt like this was an opportunity with Zoom and with just the way we're set up right now to do that. So that's where we're going to have a panel discussion at the end. So if you do have questions, we can, answer those in real time, or at least get back to you if we don't know the answers. So with that, well, again, welcome to our April general membership meeting. To get kicked off, I'd like to introduce Jessica O'Donnell. She is a KU grad. She's been with Lazarus, I think, about 6 years.
Correct.
And she's here just to talk to us a little bit about our partnership with Lazarus and what Lazarus' mission really is for the Kansas City community. So with that, Jessica, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, hi everybody. This is the biggest Zoom I have been in to date, let alone speaking to. So it's really exciting. Thank you very much for having me. So a little bit of history on Lazarus Ministries, Kansas City. Our mission is to offer unlimited compassion while providing for the unmet needs of those living in Kansas City's urban core. A little history, we literally were born out of a church potluck dinner in 1996. As many of you may know, we were originally located at 9th and Grand at Grand Avenue Temple United Methodist Church, which at the time was already known as a welcoming, open door place for the homeless in downtown Kansas City. They offered healing stations just so people could come in and get out of the elements when in extreme weather and things like that. So it was already known as being welcoming to the homeless in downtown. So they were having a potluck dinner, as churches do, and a gentleman came in, a homeless gentleman came in from the street and asked if he could join their meal. And so of course they welcomed him in, and he had a meal with them, and the rest is history, because he came back, literally word spread on the street, more and more people came, and it got to the point where Grand Avenue Temple was asking other churches for help with the meal to accommodate how many homeless people were coming to eat there. And before they knew it, they served almost 10,000 meals that first year in 1996. So that's how it all started. And we became a 501c3 in 2009, which allowed us to expand our services and keep doing what we do, and bring us to where we are today, which is serving that meal. We serve a meal restaurant style every Saturday, in conjunction with, at the same time, we have Lazarus Boutique, which is a free clothing and toiletry and essentials store. And everyone that comes has a personal shopper that goes through the boutique with them, which is really important to us, just like serving restaurant style in for our lunches. It's really important to us to offer dignity in everything that we're doing. And the personal shoppers, which is one of the junior league's volunteer opportunities, which you guys have been so amazing with. You know, we say that sometimes that one-on-one companionship and that personal shopper may be the only eye contact that that person got that day. So it's really important, not just helping them find the right sizes and getting what they need in the store, but offering that as well. So we have the meals. We have a women's community group called Spirit Sisters, which is just women that everybody in the neighborhood is welcome. Anybody can come. We have ladies that have been coming for years and years. It started, we had a women's shelter when we were at 9th and Grand, and we don't have the facilities to be able to, we weren't able to continue that at our new location. But the Spirit Sisters started with the women in the shelter, and many of those ladies still come. So that's really, really neat for us. And then we still partner with Sojourner Clinic, which is a free health clinic that we are able to refer folks to, and we provide a social worker that can be there as well. And I really would like to continue to just be a hub for resources for people in our community. We're providing the basics. We're providing meals and clothing and things that really are going to help people just start on whatever journey they're on. It's really basics, but it's important to be able to offer the resources as well. So my goal is to, we have UMKC social work interns, and so we have at times not been able to have a social worker in the summer if that person doesn't want to stay. So my goal is to always have a social worker on hand, which I think we'll be able to do this summer. So of course things are different. That's how we normally operate. Those are all the normal things that we do. But of course in this time right now, it's been just excruciating to not be able to do what we do and have been closed. We haven't been open for our services for the last few weeks, which has just been really hard. And you know, we're dealing with an at-risk population, and many of our volunteers and our staff are also in that at-risk group of older folks. And so bringing two at-risk populations together, it just became paramount for us to consider the health and safety of the people that we were serving, and haven't been able to do that. But we actually this week are going to start a very scaled back version of our meals and do a to-go lunch. We have all the safety precautions in place with social distancing and masks and gloves, of course, and everything. But so it will feel really good to get back and see our friends there and be able to provide some services. We have been during our closure, Linwood Church they offer a food pantry, like a traditional food pantry where folks come and get groceries on Fridays. And we have been able, while we haven't been serving on Saturdays, supplementing their food bags with toiletries, which they don't usually give away, and some food and even some clothing. Last week, we were able to help some people with some clothing and things just to supplement what they're doing while we've been closed. So anyway, as far as Junior League's involvement with us, it is, of course, funding is important to us, and it, you know, enables us to do what we do. But the volunteers are the lifeblood of Lazarus Ministries, and we are completely a volunteer-run organization. We have 6 employees, and I'm the only full-time. So we are really a volunteer-run organization, and you guys have been amazing. Your teams serve in the Lazarus table, serve the meals, serve as the personal shoppers. You guys have just, you know, brought family and friends, done so much beyond your placement with Junior League. I feel really grateful that, you know, people have asked to come back and be placed with us again. We have board members from Junior League. We've had well, we have Rachel Whitsitt and Amy Johnston now, who are fantastic. And we had Corey Krause and Mallory Lore just finished her term with us. And so that has just been really awesome. If you have served, if you had a placement with us and are interested in hearing more about being on the board, we're always looking to expand our board. What else? It's weird to not have crowd interaction. I'm glad I'm not following Erin, because I know, Erin, you're going to be like a very dynamic speaker with all kinds of cute visuals and things. Do you have questions, or is there anything I'm not answering?
So, Jessica, I've got a quick question for you, and thank you again for being here. And I that eye contact thing always really gets me. We have members who are always looking to help in this time when things have really changed. What could our members do? Donations, or how is there a way that we could be helping now with COVID really changing our interactions?
Yeah, gosh. Well, like I said, we're going to start with to-go lunches this weekend. If if you guys wanted to either provide items, or it's so hard because I don't want to say come and help assemble things, because then I'm asking volunteers to get together and we can't do that. But maybe assemble them at home. I can provide. I have had so many people very generously give us lunch sacks and storage bags and things like that. So I have a lot of supplies to make to-go lunches. But that's one idea. Or just donating the toiletry kits for us to hand out, because normally our folks would come and shop in the boutique and get what they need, and now we're just going to be handing out like a baggie of just a variety of toiletries. So maybe getting some of those together, things like that, to just help support us in our quick giveaways on
I love that. And that's been a challenge for a lot of our community partners. So we've had another couple questions come in.
Okay. Good.
So right now we're looking at our placement process. So, what's going to happen? People are signing up for their placement next year. So if they were to volunteer normally with Lazarus, what would they be doing out there? What are some of the activities that we have our members working on? Can you give me some insight into that?
So serving as a personal shopper in the boutique, helping people find what they need in the boutique. That's huge. That we always need. We need a lot of volunteers doing that, because it is one-on-one, and we have 60 to 80 people coming through. And so it takes some manpower. So you'd be volunteering in the boutique, or you can do both, of course, not in the same day, but volunteering in the meal, serving the meals. We could also we would welcome speakers or activities for the women's group, for Spirit Sisters. If anybody wanted to come and do that, they are the ladies that put together our Christmas tree for you guys for Holiday Mart. So they do fun things. They love to do crafty things and things like that too. So Spirit Sisters would be a good option. The two main ways volunteers help us are with the lunch and boutique, but there's other opportunities like sorting donations too, and we can always accommodate. We don't have normal volunteer hours in the evenings, but if we had a group that wanted to do evenings, we can always accommodate that. Like I said, there's 6 of us. We'll make it work.
Awesome. No, and again, I think that's why it's been a popular placement, because there's so much flexibility, and you do offer such a great service to those in our community that we really have that need. And also just want everyone to know, Jen Graves posted, if you can't get out and donate items, she posted the website of how to donate if you're so inclined to Lazarus. Yeah, but no,
Oh,
there've
thank
been a
you.
lot of really great questions, and I think people just
Thank you.
really want to help, especially with kids. You know, they see homeless out there and just want to know how can they be part of the solution there. So I appreciate you sharing your
Yeah.
story
Oh,
today.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I want to show you, my son made me a glass, a good luck glass for this presentation tonight. And it says, dressed for Zoom, because my kids have seen me on so many Zooms like in my pajama pants and slippers and then like makeup. Yeah. So I have a glass that says dressed for Zoom. It has tea in it,
Love
unfortunately.
it.
But
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
oh, thank you.
And you know, again, there's a reason we continue to partner with you, and just want to say thank you for all that you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
And
We're so grateful.
absolutely. Well, you are welcome to stick around if you'd like, but if you have other things to do, you're welcome to go enjoy the rest of your evening too. But thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us tonight and sharing about Lazarus.
Thanks so much. Everybody take care.
Thanks. So now I have the distinct honor of going back and approving the meeting minutes that I forgot to do at the beginning of the meeting. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that I, Katie Werner, President of the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri, move to approve the February GMM meeting minutes as posted at headquarters and on jlkc.org. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, I love this chat thing because now it popped up everywhere. That's awesome. So we have a second. Is there any discussion or changes? Okay, seeing and hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Just put approve. Yeah, aye. Good. Oh, look at spellings. Kimberly got the spelling right. Excellent. Okay, so now is there anyone who does not approve approving the minutes? Okay, it looks like we've got the motion passes. I don't know if that was the most legal thing, Kristen. I'm sorry about that, my bylaws chair. But with that, I would like to introduce now Erin Folk, who's been a longtime supporter of the league as well as our Step Up Director of Marketing, and has really, you know, I appreciate what she does. She's pushed me to think about social media and how we're branding, and I just thank her again for coming out and sharing her story with us and talking to us a little bit about not just her own personal brand, but how she's adapting to an ever-changing world. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Erin.
Hi, guys. I'm lucky that I've had lots of practice doing this for a few weeks now. So thank you, Jessica. We actually work with Lazarus Ministries at Lillian James, and I just love Jessica. She's always like this. She's always thinking of other people. She's amazing. So thank you, Jessica. Good job. I know that you were excited for it, so you did awesome.
Thank you so much. We're so excited for our new website.
We are too. Okay, so I think that a lot of you know me, at least in my screen, but there's 4 screens that go over. I know a lot of you in my screen right here, but some of you guys don't have your video on, so I don't know if I know you or not. You got your code names or whatever. So my name's Erin Folk. This is year 10 in Junior League for me. I'm Step Up Director of Marketing for 1 more month, and then I will be the Director of Marketing. And I don't know if Starla's on this call, but she will be very unhappy with me if I do not remind you that we have marketing leadership positions open. If you would like to know what those are, I'm going to be posting them in the members group here this week. And so I would love to chat with you if you have questions, if you want to know like what the commitment is, kind of that stuff, but really looking to do some awesome stuff with marketing next year. And I would love to have awesome people in those leadership positions. So I just needed to make sure I got that out there for Starla so she didn't get me. All right, so a little bit of my story. So when I started in Junior League, 10 years ago, I guess my son would have been 3 years old, and I was a single mom. And you know how they put you in like groups of people that you're like? They like really didn't know where to put me. And so it was very interesting because I felt very much, I think day 1, day 2, did I make a good decision joining this whatever this is I joined? Did I make a good decision? Because I actually got put inside the transfer group because but everybody was married, but they had kids, and I was a little bit older, not super old, but I wasn't like going out I was still partying a little bit, but like they didn't know that when they were putting me in the groups, right? So I like didn't really know if I had made a good decision. And that first year, it was really interesting because I was kind of trying to navigate that. And I will tell you, there's been a couple of years since then that I've tried to navigate that, right? Like every year, one of the things that I always tell people in junior league is like, we're going to have some really amazing years. And then we're going to have some years that aren't as amazing as some of those amazing years, right? But what I can do is like looking back, I can take something that I have learned from every single year that has gotten me to where I am. So now I own a marketing agency. We're switching over right now kind of to more of a SaaS product, but I own a marketing agency that was a 7-figure company in less than 2 years. And literally what I do is I travel across the nation, and I just booked my first international. So it's supposed to be in London in the fall. So we'll see if it happens. But just booked my first international speaking event. And I go and I speak about LinkedIn. And what's really interesting about that is that the reason that I started getting so into LinkedIn is because I think it was my second or third year, my placement was Women's Employment Network. And when we got into Women's Employment Network, what we were, yeah, that's right, we loved it. What we were going to do, we couldn't do. So we had to come up with something else to be able to do as volunteer hours, right? Because like our plan didn't work with their plan. And so we had to be really resilient, which I think we're all kind of learning right now, right? And we had to come up with something else. And so what we ended up doing was we were teaching classes on Saturdays. And I think that's what continued to be with the Women's Employment Network. And they said, hey, at some point we're going to teach a LinkedIn class. I said, does anybody know LinkedIn? LinkedIn was kind of new. And I volunteered to learn it, which is really funny because now almost 10 years later, 9, 10 years later, I'm traveling and being paid to speak about LinkedIn. But all of that I can point back to being in the league and a skill I learned from the league. And there's quite a few of those. I was the step up chair, which now I think it's only one chair. There's a committee or something, but like social media, I got to be one of the first chairs for that, which was awesome. It really got to, because there were like, I wasn't much of a Twitter person at the time. So I really got to learn Twitter and quite a few things like that I can point back to the league. So I like to tell people, even though every year is not perfect, there's usually something, some sort of awesome skill set or some sort of awesome mentor that you can take with you to further whatever it is you want to, whether you want to, thanks, Chelsea. I'm going to try not to look at chat or I'm going to laugh. So whether you want to just learn more about maybe, you know, like at the time I was in sales. I was a single mom. I don't have a college degree. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to learn marketing. And it's a place that I was really open to do that. And I know that's happened at least on marketing committee because now that's where I've spent a lot of time. There's been a lot of people. I know Whitney, our social media chair this year, she actually got a job in social media after learning it through the league. So there's a lot of stories. Mine's not unusual. So I wanted to point that out. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my company and kind of what we've been dealing with. But I wanted to point that out because I think that we don't hear those stories enough of the things that come out of the league that aren't just our placements or aren't just what we see when Katie gets on stage, right? There's a lot of stories behind there of that I like for us to remember because times like right now, anybody that's sitting on a committee that was in charge of something had to be real resilient and real creative and come up with things like this, right? So to that point, I wanted to talk a little bit. If you know me at all, you know my brand is being almost too transparent. If you know Dr. Michelle Robin, she says, sometimes you're just too transparent, and she's pretty transparent. So when Katie was talking to me about what I wanted to talk about or what we should talk about, I would love to tell you guys about business. And to tell you the truth, I see 3 business owners right here on my screen, and there's 4 screens here. And I can tell you right now, if you're a business owner, you probably feel like you've been ran over by a train a few times, right? Like it has been not fun. It has been a lot of juggling skills. It's been a lot of trying to make sure that all the people that work for you are taken care of on top of your own family. It's been exhausting. And what I wanted to say is that I've been sitting in these meetings. I've sat in literally this ring light's been in my face all day. You guys might have thought that was my glow, but it's my ring light. It's been in my face all day long because I have been on calls like this all day long, right? Because this is what my job is now. And it's going from, it's gotten a little, I would imagine a lot of business owners on here, it's gotten a little tapered down, but first we were trying to figure out the loans and Are we allowed to let people work? What do we tell our employees? Do we have to do layoffs? Do we have to do furloughs? Blah, 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 blah. It's been exhausting. But so I did a lot of that at the beginning, but then what I've really started to do is I've started to reach out and talk to women. And I say women because a lot of my meetings during the day are with men, and it's a very different way that I feel like men and women are handling this right now. And so I just wanted, since I knew this was going to be all women, I just wanted to kind of talk to the point of, I wanted you to know, like, there's a lot of you that have been laid off, that have been furloughed, that still have your jobs, that are maybe working your jobs part-time, that maybe your job got busier and now you're working 80, 90 hours a week, right? Like, we're all kind of in this. And what I wanted to, I have a great friend in Toronto, and she has a show that I love. And she said this quote the other day, and then I think she heard it from this preacher podcast that I heard it from, but I'm still going to give her credit. Maybe he heard it from her. But I wanted to tell you guys this quote and then just talk a little bit to it, because it like hit me like a ton of bricks. And hopefully if there's just one of you on here that this can kind of resonate, then my 15 minutes is worth it. But essentially what the quote was is that we are all in the same storm, right? We are all in the same storm. Every commercial, I'm a branding marketing girl. Every commercials, we're in this together, right? The Jimmy Fallon show, all of the shows right now, we're all in this together. So we're all in the same storm. However, we are not all in the same boat. So that's the quote. And to me, it was just so powerful, because what I've seen is that there are a lot of women. Today I spoke on the phone with a woman, and she has her job. Her job's going well. She works for another agency. Her job's going really well. She doesn't have kids, which to me sounds like a vacation sometimes right now, right? But she doesn't have a spouse. She doesn't have a partner. And I just stopped and I said, she was being very positive about everything. I go, but what's it like? And she said, what do you mean? And I go, what's it like? Are you seeing anybody? And she's like, no. And I said, can you just talk to me about what that's really like? And essentially she just opened up very much to me about how lonely she is and how hard it's been. And, and then on my end, I'm trying to homeschool kids, keep a business together. So it's hard, but they're very different hards, right? A lot of you are dealing with, I don't know anybody here personally, but I've had friends that have dealt with grandparents passing away from COVID. I have 2 clients whose sisters passed away. Like, we're all kind of dealing with this in a different way. And I just wanted, and this really has nothing to do about business, and this isn't really what I told Katie I was going to talk about, but I just wanted to tell you that if you need to talk to somebody, like, you don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to. You can have your really good days, and then you can have really bad days. Like, it's okay to have both of those, and you don't have to be doing it all right now. And just because your storm isn't maybe as stormy, is that a word? Is stormy is other people's storm, that doesn't mean it's not still a storm, right? And so if nothing else, I wanted to encourage everybody tonight to reach out to 2 or 3 people that you know that maybe you just haven't heard from them, you haven't seen them posting a lot, or maybe they're doing the posting that is kind of like up and down, right? Because they're trying to post because that's where they're getting. Reach out to 3 people that you haven't talked to during this and just ask them if they're okay. Just call them. Do some sort of reaching out to where there is that human connection. Because right now we are all absolutely in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. And I think you guys, I'm going to do math here. Are you ready? There's 83 of us on this call. Okay, hold on. I'm going to use my phone because if you know me at all, the math's not going to work. If each one of us reaches out to 3 people tonight, that's 249 people in our community that will go to bed tonight knowing that somebody's thinking of them. And there are a lot of people out there right now. I don't know if you've seen the suicide rates, but there are a lot of people out there that just need to know they're not alone. So that's all I really wanted to say. I have a wonderful company, so if you ever want to do marketing, just let me know. If you want a marketing leadership position, I would love to chat with you. I promise you it will be an amazing year, and you will learn a lot of stuff, and you will have a voice. But just please reach out to people, and if you need somebody to talk to, I'm 100% here for you. I'll probably bring my ring light, but I'm here for you. I can't give Botox right now, so. All right. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. I love that. And I'm a little jealous of your ring light. I have found it's amazing how weird the lighting is in your house when you start trying to have calls everywhere. So, Erin, thank you so much for your heartfelt message. And that's so true. We need to be reaching out to people. And I really, you're always so willing to be vulnerable. And I really do appreciate that. So thank you for sharing your message tonight. That's awesome. Yes, got a lot of love out there. So now what I wanted to do was open it up for a panel discussion with the board. We have several board members on the call tonight, and I've asked Deanne to step out from Meeting Minute Land and help me kind of facilitate this. So Deanne, I'm going to turn the mic over to you, and board members, get ready. You never know what's coming your way.
Thanks, Katie. And if anyone would like to ask additional questions, go ahead and post them in that chat, and we'll try to catch them all as we go through. So the first question is for Jen Graves, our Director of Membership, and it has to do with some of our requirements. So there we are, Jen. So Jen, why are my GMM and trainings now combined on my member homepage checklist?
Oh, I am so glad that someone asked that question. That is a great question. So they are combined because from the November in-home meeting, we heard you guys, and you guys said you wanted more flexibility, and so that is exactly what we've done. In the past, you could swap out a GMM for a training if you were an active member, but now that is available for anybody. So it is one line on your requirement sheet now on your home page. If you look there, GMM training is just one line. So depending on how many years you've been in the league, that is how many GMMs and trainings you must complete. But again, it's flexible. You can decide to attend all GMMs or all trainings. It's whatever you'd like. And again, it's because we listen to you guys. So we hope that that you guys like this change, and we look forward to making more changes based on the feedback that we receive from our members. So thanks for that question.
I'm not supposed to be speaking anymore, but I just want to give a shout out to Jen Graves, who has been killing the virtual life lately. She has been killing it, even with that awesome wig.
Thanks, Erin. Hey, it's Wacky Wednesday, guys. Where's the costumes here? I'm just out here on the island by myself.
I took my antlers off, so
Mine fell off as well. You always set a great example for everyone, Jen. And just to keep you on one more time, we have one other membership question. Folks have wondered, is there anything different about the placement process this year?
Guys, the only thing different is we did not have early leadership placement this year. We are just having normal placement, and that is open. It was started April the 1st, and again, it is open until April 30th. So guys, you still have time to pick those placements. There has been some guidance sent out on Facebook. So if you're a Milestone Mary or Leadership Lottie, got a lot going on, you can just check out those posts that have been put on Facebook for a sample of placements that might be great for you for the next league year. Also, feel free to check out the leadership book that's posted online. And then on your homepage, there is a question that will link to our placement chair, Katie Rooney. So you can ask any placement questions that you have. Again, placement is random, so you pick 5 choices. It's not based on if you signed up April 1st, you're going to get your first choice. It is an algorithm, so it is completely random, so you still have time. There is a late placement option, but we're just hoping that everyone gets everything done during normal placement. So again, it closes on April the 30th, and you must pay your dues or set up a payment plan. Reach out to Angie Prince, our bookkeeper, to set that up if you need to. So again, placement is still open. It's not too late. You haven't missed anything. You can still get your first choice.
And the scholarship fund is still open too. So
it is.
If that's something that if you're interested in, please, we've set aside those funds to make sure everyone feels taken care of.
And we got another question in, Jen, that sounds like it's for you too. So membership is the popular one tonight.
Yay.
In regards to new members, are the new member calendar dates and notebooks going to be updated?
New member calendar dates, and I will have to look at those dates again. All requirements, you're complete at this point. So I don't know what dates are still left on there. I think there's still a few there's new members that are still meeting, which we hope you guys are still meeting with your new member advisors and working with your group via Zoom or whatever platform. But let me take a look at that, and if you could document Deanne who asked that question, we will make sure that Abby Moog, our new member education chair, reaches out directly to this person. So.
All right. Good. I've got that all down, Jen. So I'll send that over.
Thank you.
So switching tracks a little bit, we'll give Jenna a break. And this one we'll send out to Sarah Harris, our Director of Training. Just kind of a general question. What's some advice that you wish you had heard as a new first year active? Is there anything that you think would have been fantastic news that you'd like to share? And you might be on mute, Sarah.
You're on mute.
Am I still on mute?
Nope, there you go.
Did you? Okay, good. Yay. Thanks. Thank you. I was just thinking about this, and I think this is my 8th active year, and so I've definitely had a variety of league experiences and of, I would say, different levels. What Erin mentioned about some years are really great and some years are more challenging. Actually, my first active year was really challenging. And then a lot that I learned there, and I've made, I would say, like better decisions or like sort of sought out more information from that with regard to placement. So my first thing is nothing's a set path. Like if you're interested in leadership, if you're, really wanting to step up and do something, you do not have to be a committee member and then a step up chair and then a chair. It could certainly be easier maybe if you did that, but we're always looking for people who want to take leadership positions, and it doesn't always have to be like a straight sort of, this is the path, this is what I want to do. For example, I'm the director of training council right now, and I have never been on training council. So it wasn't like I was like a committee member and then a committee chair and then all this stuff. So just if there's something you really want to do, definitely talk to the person who currently has that placement and sort of see if it would be a good fit or if they have any options or advice as to how to get to that spot. So that's my first one. My second one is I have followed what I would say leaders around the league versus just doing certain placements. Like there are women here that I really admire and I have worked with before. And so it'll be like, oh, she's going to go lead this committee. Like, I don't really know if I want to be on that committee, but I want to learn from her and sort of see what I can take from that experience. So I've done that several years and it's been really great. I've also asked people who I respect in the league, sort of like, what do you think I should do? Like who don't, especially in my early years when I didn't know as many people, sort of like who should I know? Like who, if I'm looking for this, for example, in my job, we don't, there's not a lot of opportunity for leading teams. Like we're a very sort of flat organization. And so it would be, if I say what I'm doing, it's gonna be a long time before I would manage people. And so knowing that like managing people and sort of working on that leadership skills has been really important for me. And so sort of talking to people about that and just sort of looking where it makes sense. So overall, a lot of what I'm saying is like talk to other people and see what they have to say. You can look at the placement book, that's super helpful, but it's also really helpful sometimes just to have a call with somebody, or I would say coffee, but we're not doing that right now. And I think like any member on the board is happy to talk to you. Committee chairs, I think we're all really helpful because we are really invested in everyone here and we want you to stay in the league and have a really great experience because those of us that are here have generally have that. So we want to make sure you have that too. Finally, it's okay to step back. like, honestly, I'm a little like overwhelmed right now in the league. And so I'm really looking forward, not because of the league, but just because of like work and just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm like really looking forward to having a more low key job next year. And that's completely fine. And know that you can always sort of bounce back and forth through a variety of things. So happy to talk to anybody about anything. And let me know, or anybody else, if you have questions.
Thanks so much, Sarah. And I'd like to kind of toss that same question out to Megan Allen, our Director of Fund Development, if she has some great advice that she wishes she had heard as a new league member.
Am I unmuted?
You're good.
Okay. So I was thinking about that, and I joined the league not 100% knowing the organization I was joining. And I think that I had reasons for joining, and I got into it and realized what I thought I was joining was a completely not different organization, but I didn't understand necessarily the difference between as you get into the placement process, how there's two kind of routes you can go, the out of league placements or the in league placements. And that was sort of foreign terms to me when I was a new member. And I wish that I might have had a little bit more knowledge of that the organization that I was joining was that I would find the most benefit from my in-league placements. And I say that because I feel extremely prepared to now go eventually volunteer in the community in a larger scale. Doing in-league placements has gotten me exposure to all of the organizations that we fund, and knowing all of the different organizations that apply and that you hear of that are out there. And there are a crazy amount of amazing organizations in our community that need support, both from people and from money. But I am very excited and feel much more equipped to now go out and volunteer in a larger capacity in those agencies someday. In fact, I would love to see my career move in that direction eventually. And I think that I didn't ever expect to equate that to what I did in league for junior league. I have gotten to see our amazing staff and how much they support this organization. And it is remarkable how there are such a small group of people running these organizations all over the city, and they are supported by volunteers, but I don't know. I aspire to do more and be more, I think, because of my league placements, my in-league placements.
Thanks, Megan. That is fantastic. And I would echo that advice. I wish I had known you as a new member. We have gotten a question that has come in about chat. If we can talk about what the process is for self-submitting yourself for those available leadership positions. So Katie, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So yes, we self-submit for leadership, which I will say, especially when I was first getting started on this, seems really weird. Like, oh, I don't want to put my own name in. That seems silly. But what we do is that you go through that leadership website at jlkc.org, and you can sign up there for anything that you're interested in. Or if you just want to talk to Heidi Menace, she's our current nominating chair, and she can really help you about what's available in leadership positions. But yeah, it's really about you just kind of putting your hand up and saying, this is something that I'm interested in. And the best thing about the league, you don't have to be great at these things. You don't have to really know anything about it. It's just putting yourself out there in a different way, which can feel uncomfortable, but I think, also has taught me a bit about that confidence piece of, you never know what's going to happen when you put your name in the hat. And so if you're interested in something, I would highly recommend self-submitting. And if you're not really sure what a leadership position is, talk to the current chair. Sarah really got it when she said, people are willing to talk. I think that's one of the best things about the league is the community that we form internally, and that we are here to support and sustain the league. So if you're interested in something, I would definitely reach out and just have those conversations. And I think you had another question come in.
I did. I was just trying to read it and find someone to answer it. So I will throw the question out there. So we got a question if we're able to share what we as a league have helped to do in our community during this time, and if there's anything additionally that we can be doing. So Katie, maybe I'll let you kick this off as well, and then I know Robin Wagner from Community is not here, but let me see if Jessica is here.
I think Jessica might be here.
Okay.
So yeah, I can kick it off, and then I'd love for someone from Community to weigh in, because they really are more boots on the ground with this. But what we found when COVID struck, like our own agency, we really weren't allowed to go and volunteer or partner with the people we usually work out with in the community. So what the board decided to do was to take the remaining funds and divide it up amongst our agencies. We felt like they were able to get the best deals on donations. They knew how to use the money most effectively. So it's not the sexiest thing, but quite frankly, we cut checks for them to make sure that they got the money that they needed to make the change for their organization. So we did that for our existing community partners. Additionally, we have given out all of our endowment funds for the year. We got quite a few requests that came in for needs out in the community. And so, dollars were the way we could get back to the community as quickly as possible. But what we're seeing now is that a lot of agencies really need donations. Jewish Family Services, your local food banks, they need food. There are a lot of people who never had to go to a food bank for food before, who are finding themselves in tough times right now. So, you could do that through a grocery store and just send food over via one of the delivery services, or drop it off yourself. They've got protocols in place, but right now we're seeing that. Additionally, we've seen some Meals on Wheels. You can do food delivery, but right now it's just kind of a hodgepodge because we still can't get back in and do a lot of volunteering.
I'll add to that, Katie.
Yeah, thanks, Jess.
So we have a list. We shared these items during our bingo tonight, and we will have a e-blast coming out in the next few days of the items that our community partners need. We have Amethyst Place, they have a wish list and a lot of items. All our community partners are in need of masks, including Connections, Jewish Family Services, Lazarus Ministries, Operation Breakthrough Rosebrooks, Shadow Buddies, Wayside Waves. So again, we have a listing of all the needs that we sent out an email request. Robin Wagner sent out an email request, and we asked for those things. So we will get that out to our members via an e-blast. So like I said, please be on the lookout for that e-blast, and also via Facebook of these items that our community partners need. So that will be out in the next few days.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And is there anyone else from Community that would just like to chime in with anything that we may have missed?
Elizabeth says she can.
Yes, please then.
I can just a bit. I asked the question mostly because I wanted to make sure that the league did get a chance to, you know, the other members get a chance to kind of know it was actually pretty big, a lot of financial support we were able to give. I know for my committee, we obviously put on a spring fair, which is it takes a lot of volunteers, a lot of money, a lot of coordination. And while we were obviously bummed about it, we know that that money was put to much more impactful use. I mean, the spring fair is more focused on, you know, fitness items and sporting goods, and less health services. So they were mentioning about giving the money financially, especially very early on during this hit is actually a really big deal. I know a lot of the agencies in the beginning was more of a financial constraint, and now like they said, now it's more physical items. But it was actually I'm actually really proud of how the board and the league really just kind of took that whatever they had to vote or decide on and made it really, really quickly to work with our community partners to do. So I appreciate that, and I know how big of a deal that is. And then my other question was related to if there's anything that members could be doing more. I know you mentioned some physical items, but also if there's anything that the league would need from members that we can support the league and or support our staff or the league staff and their families. So that's it.
Thank you. That's great to hear.
Yeah, thank you for chiming in. And we did have one other question that maybe Elizabeth, maybe you can answer it, or Jen with your wish list ideas. But as far as donations for our partners, is it better to go out and get them the food, or is it better to send them money? Have we heard any feedback from our community partners about what's easiest for them to kind of manage at this time?
Jen, did you want me to say something, or are you going to answer this one?
You can go ahead and answer.
Well, okay, so I will say initially, and this is something we talked, Jessica, Robin, and I and some of the other chairs talked about in the beginning, and I'm gonna guess it's probably similar. It was better if you to give, I mean, gift cards or the financial. Sometimes the concern with the food was, again, this was initially, was the number of hands it probably had to go through in order to get to them. And I know some of the agencies, even the beginning, they were very hesitant about how to go about donations. I know now they're really accepting donations. So I'm guessing there's probably a mixed answer to that. And each agency may be different. And so with Jen's list that she mentioned, those are physical items. Definitely they can use those items, but I know financially, they obviously will take any support, financial or goods or anything. Just being mindful though of the number of hands being processed through, and with a lot of the at-risk population, they don't have hand sanitizer, gloves, they don't have masks, they don't have a lot of the things that they would need to sanitize. So just being cautious, I guess, but probably anything is welcome.
Yeah, a lot of our community partners, the wish list, it had a lot of gift cards. Amethyst Place, for one, is in need of gift cards. Jewish Family Services, they're in need of some items that can be dropped off to one of their 2 locations. So again, this information will be posted in the next few days, so you guys can participate if you would like.
Thank you both so much. I think that was really helpful information for everybody who wants to help and doesn't know how. So switching a little bit from community back to some in-league fund raising. December, I saw that you just posted some kind of open fund development placements, but can you specifically share some of the Holiday Mart open positions, since that committee and council is kind of up and running and are on a little bit of a different league year. So any thoughts you have on what's still open, or a plug you want to put in for our great fundraiser?
Yeah, of course. Right now, we currently have, specifically to Holiday Mart leadership, we have a transportation security chair open, also the step up chair for that. And then also our sponsorship liaison and then step up for that as well. As Deanne mentioned, our Holiday Mart does run on a different calendar year than the league calendar year. These ladies are well under their way, and so these two positions, or I guess there's 4, are positions that you could easily jump on board right now, even though they have the planning underway, but positions that I'm sure the leadership in place, Addie and Haley and everyone else in the committee, would welcome you with open arms. Also, while I have a minute, I would love to plug sponsorship overall for the league. We are lucky that in leading into this next year that Celeste, our very own Celeste Greenlee, is going to take on kind of overseeing sponsorship for the league and really partner with that sponsorship chair role, and kind of you would work with her very closely. And if any of you have had any or have been welcomed and worked with Celeste, you know that you will learn a ton from her. So I just want to plug that, because obviously sponsorship is huge for our league, and it's an area that we should be able to tap into a little bit more. 1, it gets us out in the community, but 2, it helps set off some of our costs for our fundraisers. So if you're interested in that position, please reach out to myself or Celeste. I'm sure she would be more than happy to talk to you about that.
Thanks so much. I know my Holiday Mart placement, even though it was business manager, it was one of the most fun placements I had in the league. So it's a great event. All right. So it looks like we've kind of gone through all of our questions. If you did submit one that we didn't get to, we'll take a look at it and make sure we kind of provide an answer back to you. But with that, Roy, if you are online, if you want to go ahead and play the member appreciation video now, we can kind of move to that.
Okay, bear with me. Yep.
And Rory, I'm not getting any sound. It may just be me, but we might need to unmute yourself maybe.
Better?
Times like these, little things that mean the most. So thank you for connecting with each other and joining in those Zoom happy hours. And thank you for finding ways to support the community that needs our help so much at this time. So until we're able to meet at headquarters safely, stay home and stay healthy.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for what you've done for one another and for our community. We've had a great year and we have accomplished a lot of amazing things, and we could not have done it without you. So thank you for everything.
Hi, I'm Sarah Harris. I'm Director of Training, and I just wanted to thank all of you so much for a great year and all of the help and support that you've given not only our members, but our community partners.
Thank you for your commitment to the league and to the Kansas City community. You know, the Junior League has been here for a long time and through a lot of highs and lows in this world, and will continue to be strong. And that's because of members like you.
We say thank you. We say thank you.
League volunteers, what you have done this year is nothing short of amazing. You have shown time and time again that you can and will do hard things. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all that you do to support not only our Lee community, but our Kansas City community as well. See you soon. I heard these words this week, and it is important to remember to not fear, to be brave, and to endure. We will gather again. And thanks to each of you, we are bettering Kansas City together.
Without each and every one of you, we cannot be the organization that we are in times of crisis and in times of normalcy. I look forward to the time when we can get back to that normal routine and we all get to convene again as one large organization. And until then, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do each and every day.
Thank you to everyone for your hard work this year. Please celebrate the hours, the heart that you gave to make this year a success. We can't do the things we do without you. Thank you. Please stay happy and stay healthy.
Hi, I'm Jessica Mathis, Best Director of Community, and I want to thank all those ladies at the Junior League in Kansas City.
Thank you for your mothers for everything you do. From fundraising to volunteering, the community couldn't be more grateful, especially at this time. So looking forward to next year, volunteering more and getting to work with our community so that we miss us, it's fun, and we're so grateful for our community being able to get done this year.
My favorite part about being on the board is being able to see exactly how much work we get done every single year from all of the different councils. When you're able to kind of appreciate that all together, is nothing short of amazing. So thank you for donating your time and your energy and helping us to make Kansas City a better place.
Thank you for your hard work, your dedication, your perseverance, and your creativity. You are making a difference in all of our lives and our community. And our organization could not do the extraordinary work that we do without you. Thank you.
Versatile, optimistic, energetic, understanding, resilient, unstoppable. These are all words to describe our amazing Junior League volunteers, especially at this ever-changing time. I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your efforts this year. You've made it a pleasure to lead this group of amazing women. Thank you. A big thank you to all of our volunteers.
All right. Well, with that concludes our April GMM. I want to thank all of you again for coming out for this virtual experience. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, but in some ways, it feels a little more intimate to just kind of have a conversation. I love all the chats. So with that, we will adjourn. And I know the video was a little spotty, but we'll put it up on the website. So if you want to see it, you know, a little bit closer up, it'll be there for you too. So thank you all and have a wonderful night.